Hi, my name's Jackie and I'm part of the Calvary Chapel Handmade Marketplace Planning Committee. We're making a video for you to tell you a bit more about how we envision the Handmade Marketplace and our goals for it, provide a little bit more information for you as a vendor and what to expect, and to ask for a bit of follow-up information for you as we plan space and logistics for the marketplace this October. So first of all, how we envision the marketplace. So first and foremost, it's a craft fair in a traditional sort of way where we'll have vendors. We're hoping to bless those of you as vendors financially and hoping that you'll make sales for the upcoming season. But perhaps more importantly, we're looking at this as a ministry opportunity as well. So while the vendors, you are all connected to Calvary Chapel, Ellicott City in some way, shape, or form, we're advertising this marketplace to the larger public. So it's true that there'll be many of our friends that we're reaching out to personally, but we're also marketing it in places that are completely unrelated to our church body or to any of us as well. And so we really want this to be a place where people can come and shop, but also have a laid-back atmosphere where they can enjoy each other's company. They can have free refreshments. We'll have a food truck outside. There'll be people to pray for them, to tell them a bit more about Calvary Chapel if they're interested, and to tell them a bit more about Jesus if they don't know who he is. And so we're really hoping that this serves two purposes like that, and we hope that you all are as excited about that as we are. As a vendor, we know that many of you, this will be your first craft fair or craft show that you've been involved in, so we really want to calm some of your worries and anxieties about that and let you know that, first of all, we're all in this together. This is obviously the first time we're hosting a craft fair or handmade marketplace as well, so we'll kind of be experimenting together in a safe environment, as safe as it can be, and in a collaborative environment. So this is not meant to be any type of competitive environment, trying to bid sales against one another, but more so to learn from one another, to figure out how to best set up booths, how to make sales, how to attract customers, etc. So we've put together a tip sheet, so a bit of guidance for you all as vendors. The tip sheet will be in your email that you'll get with this video. We go over a couple of questions in there. So the first thing is kind of talking about pricing your goods and the inventory that we want you to prepare to bring. So inventory is one of the questions that almost everybody had when they filled out their application. So as we haven't done this before, we don't know ideally exactly how many individuals will be attending the show. However, we can say that a potential rule of thumb would be for every hour of the show, you want to have 2 to 3 bigger items that you'll sell. And so most of you, it seems, have a variety of prices that you've included. And so you can think of your items as 2 categories, as bigger ticket items and as smaller price kind of token items. And so bigger ticket items are potentially $15 or more. These are usually sometimes physically larger, substantial items, something that someone would come to your table and they might just buy one, rather than a smaller ornament per se that somebody might come up and buy 3 or 4 of, or a set of clips that they might want. So for every hour of the show, and so our show is 5 hours long, we would say between 2 to 10 big ticket items. So that would be approximately 10 to 15 bigger items. And then if you have smaller token items, so that's usually $10 or less, and physically smaller items, we'd say for each type of those items to have about 10 to 20 of those. So maybe 10 to 20 magnets, 10 to 20 coasters, 10 to 20 ornaments, if that makes sense. So you'll potentially have 10 to 15 big items and then anywhere in the smaller items. And this will look really different for each of you. So if you have specific questions you want to run by us, feel free. Granted, again, we don't know. We haven't done this before, so we can't tell you what the crowd will look like. Trust your gut instinct. One thing to consider is that after the show is over, if you're kind of stuck wondering what to do with your inventory, we will use our Facebook page to help advertise your goods for you. So if you'll be accepting orders afterwards via email, we'll send out a message to all of our attendees and those that like our page, letting them know about your goods and the email address that they can reach you at. Additionally, we're going to be hosting a webinar for those of you that might want to set up an online storefront via Etsy or potentially another storefront hosting site, to teach you a little bit more about how to do that if that's something you've been thinking about. That is another avenue that you can use to kind of sell leftover goods that you might have from the craft fair. So we'll be doing that soon thereafter. Okay, and next, a few logistical questions and answers about taking payment. So, yes, most people will bring cash and be prepared to pay with cash, but you might want to also have the option to take credit card payments. There's a couple different places and ways that you can do this. Just a few of these for you to look into. If you have an Etsy storefront, you can request an Etsy card reader, although they seem to be taking quite a bit of time to be received. There's something called Square, and you can request a Square reader, and PayPal also has their own reader. And all of these are linked in your tips and guidance document. You're not going to be at a serious disadvantage if you do not take credit card payments, as most people do provide cash. And we will be posting on our Facebook page to encourage people to bring cash, but letting them know that some vendors will have the ability to take credit card payment. Okay, and another question and answer is some tips for setting up your table to attract customers. So every vendor will be given a table that we will provide for you. You'll receive more information from us after this, letting you know exactly what size table that you have, and then we'll give you information about your location as soon as we can, close nearing the date of the fair. So for your table, we recommend that you have a table covering for it that reaches the ground, the floor length, and in lighter colors are usually better. You don't want to distract people from your goods, but again, booths have been set up fairly well with darker colored or patterned cloths, but if you're not sure, a lighter cloth is usually better. Something else to do is to potentially attract height to your table, setting different boxes, easels, displays on your table to kind of give a variety of things for people to look at, and also so people can see things as they're walking by and not have to come right up to your table to see them. Last, if you have a way to advertise your goods, if you have a name of a shop, if you want to have a sign that says handmade crocheted items, or a sign that explains in more detail of what's at your table to kind of attract people to come closer, that would also potentially be a good opportunity. The last thing, and we mark this on the sheet too, is that it's a good opportunity to take a photo of your booth just as you're set up, as before everyone comes in and starts purchasing. If you do plan on attending for craft fairs in the future, sometimes this is a requirement for an application. So again, just to reiterate, we're all in this together, we're all experimenting, trying to figure out what works best. We hope to hold these for many years to come, so this will be a learning experience and hopefully a positive experience for all of us. And if you do have any follow-up questions about the logistics we talked about just now and the tips, please do reach out to us at the email address. Last part of this video is just asking for a bit more information from you. So as we plan our space, we will be asking you to please provide us a bit more about what your table setup will look like. So generally, we have a 6-foot table that we'll be providing you and a very small surrounding area around that. If you have much larger items, if you have a huge backdrop that you need to be put up against, leaning up against a wall, we need to know those types of things as we plan out the space. In that same line of thought, if you only need a smaller table, you will only be placing things on a tabletop, please let us know that as well. Basically, just if there's anything about your display that's kind of unusual or just not on your exact table, please let us know. It's not saying that you can't do that, but we just want to make sure that we have a space that will accommodate your goods and will work good and will work well for you in that. So please send us a follow-up email after you get this, just telling us a bit more about your setup. Next, we have 2 documents for you to review. The tips and guidance sheet, I basically went over a good amount of that in this video, but there's more details there for you, and it's all written down for you to reference after the fact, and that there's also a vendor agreement that we'll ask you to sign and send back to us electronically. So the agreement lists that the event is on October 24th from 9 a.m. to 2 p.m. We ask that all vendors will be set up by 8:30 a.m. and we will send you more information as we get closer to the date, letting you know exactly when you can get into the building. We want to ensure that all goods are handmade by you. If there's any questions about this at all, please email us. We really want to ensure that every good is a handmade item. We want you to stop selling your products at 2 o'clock, and everything needs to be out by 3. You are responsible for taking any trash that you create out with you. and we are asking that you provide all the materials to set up your booth beyond just the 6-foot table and the 2 chairs that we'll be providing. We want you to provide all the materials to ensure a responsible method of payment, either if that's cash, check, credit card. If a consumer asks for a receipt, that you have a way to provide receipts. We will be providing a printable template that you can use if you'd like to print this at home and bring with you. Walmart also has receipt books that you can buy for, I think, less than $5, and the credit card readers will email receipts to you. So just at least have a way to document payment for those that are asking. And last but not least, and this hopefully should not be a problem, but we do have to say it, is that we don't want any products that have any type of inappropriate language, gestures, signage. It's suggestive in any type of way that would promote drugs or alcohol. Again, we expect this would not be an issue, but it's listed out there for you on the agreement that you'll sign. So please type your full name on the agreement, get that back to us by the end of this week. And if there's any other questions about the marketplace, please reach out to us as soon as possible. We really want to encourage you about this. We don't want this to be a stress or anxiety producing event. It should be a really great opportunity for all of us as vendors and for our friends, family members, the larger public that are attending. And we really look forward to the event in October. So again, any questions, please email us, and we look forward to seeing you all in October.